a different James Bond than what we remember.
Yeah,
That's what Daniel Craig was.
yeah, that's true. But like, I think the point he was making, it's like, well, it's like how people complain that how they had the guy that plays Danny Rand in Iron Fist as Iron Fist, instead of having an Asian American or an Asian actor playing him. I'm just like, well, he's been in the comics for 40 years, and he's always been a white guy who lived in Kunlun, and he was a rich guy, you know? And then he came back and became a hero. That's kind of how it's always been. Like, I think certain side heroes that your characters that maybe people don't know so well about you could play the race, their ethnicity more. That's fine, but like, don't make Bruce Wayne, another ethnicity, because part of who he is that rich white privilege type thing going on. He grew up with that that silver spoon in his mouth.
Yeah, it's part of his origin.
That's part of his origin. Same thing with Superman. He was raised by farmers in Kansas, and when he's Kryptonian, and Kryptonians come in all looks and ethnicities, just like humans do, because they're basically just humans on another planet. Yeah, so it's just like, yeah, there's like certain character, like in the way they do it, like with the Flash, how they changed in New 52, they changed Wally West to being African American. And what it was is they just changed his ethnicity. But then fans really miss the classic Wally West, who was so prevalent in the comics for freaking 20 years or so, or 25 years before they brought Barry Allen back. Because he was the Flash. He was the Flash after Infinite Crisis. And it's now been established in the comics, in more recent comics, that he's actually faster than Barry. But, yeah, so people were, so they brought him back, but they have two Wally West. They have the Teen Titans Wally West, who's a cousin of the other Wally West, who were named after the same grandfather or something like that. They just come from different sides of the family, and that's cool. And then you got trying to think what else. Then you got, oh, by the way, we're playing Spider-Man. I'm streaming now. As we talk about changing the race of iconic heroes. But like, if in the way they did the way they've done Spider-Man, Miles Morales, is they didn't make a African American Peter Parker. They made another kid who happened to get the same powers, who was inspired by Spider-Man, who, after Peter Parker died in the Ultimate series, took on the role of Spider-Man. Which, in Miles Morales, is a cool freaking character. Like, he's cool in his own right, So like he's just another Spider-Man. Kind of like Balzad is.
like Valzad is a good alternative for Superman on Earth 2 because the Clark Kent on that world died in a massive
Spider-Man. Shocker has escaped, and now he's robbing a bank on East 31st.
What happened? I thought he was behind bars.
He was, but one of the guards just walked up to his cell and released him, then gave him his suit back.
I knew Shocker was working for someone.
Kingpin.
What did you get out of the guard?
Wish I could.
So I haven't gotten too far in the story in this. I've just been kind of swinging around. I got all the towers to like give the map of the city. So now I have a bunch of side events unlocked and stuff like that, so I can do more with that. Of course, there's still a bunch more that have to be unlocked, but doing those unlocks like so you can upgrade your skills and your gadgets. And
looking at the security footage, the guard was in some kind of trance.
Are you playing this on?
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
But it looked like his eyes were glowing.
That's great. Okay, I'll see what I can get out of Shocker when I get to the bank.
Yeah, so I've just been doing a lot of side stuff and minimal mission stuff, but it looks like there's more to unlock. Okay, what were we gonna say?
Are you playing this on your PC or on your PS4?
Oh, this is PS4 exclusive, so I'm playing on PS4.
Oh, there you go. I prefer console gaming. I think it's fun. But...
I love console gaming, but I
have a gaming PC, and so there's just a lot of games I'll
play on there. Especially for games that I love that were on the last generation. A lot of what I did when I first got
This lab monitors the health of marine life.
the first one of the things they did pretty quick was buy a bunch of my favorite last gen games for my PC, so I could play them at higher frame rates and better textures and all that stuff, because compared to like PS3 and stuff like that, you know, even though they were pumping out the best they could at that, you look at it on console, I mean on PC, and you're just like, oh, you can get all these extra like effects and things like that you couldn't get on there. Now, what would be cool if in the future, maybe if they make a sequel, I'm sure they'll make a sequel to it. It'll probably be another exclusive, is my guess. But maybe not. Maybe they'll make a deal where they'll bring it to you know, console and PC and all that. We'll see. And if that's the case, maybe I'd get it on PC. But I do like that it's on PS4, because then it gives me a reason to play my PS4. Because I haven't really played it in a couple months. I played my Switch more. Or my PC. But I haven't really been playing very many games lately.
Medicine on site if you need it. The effects these diseases have, they are not.
Graphics in this game are so good. I'm playing on the old school. I'm playing on the old school. Like one of the first editions of the PS4, and it runs so good.
Spray in the lab that should heal the fish. I just need to spray it over the water.
Like it's like a constant 1080p,
People start getting sick.
30 frames per second, solid,
First step, get to the docks.
and it just looks good. It looks great. New York looks beautiful. Character models are good. The cutscenes look really good because the character models are.
Whatever's in those barrels caused the problem. Gotta get him out of the water.
As far as exploration go, can you
Just call me your friendly
do you
neighborhood
like go in
guard.
buildings very much like in Assassin's Creed, or are you just outside?
No, there's a lot of indoor portions, like as far as like there's certain missions that will take place inside. Usually they're usually storied missions and stuff like that, but it's a lot of outdoor stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
But like it's just fun because the lighting is good. Like they don't have like a in-game clock or anything. They just have a they just have like as the story progresses, they'll have like different times of day. So right now I'm in the morning, and the lighting's set for the morning. I think they did that so that they could.
So that they could.
If I spread it evenly, the water currents will take it far and wide. It's got to cover a wide area.
Sorry, I lost my thought for a second. So that way, like, if like you had day transitions, because they got the lighting so perfect for these, because it's a very photorealistic game. So so transitioning between the different times might look kind of jarring.
Spread it to other fish.
Well, this way they can kind of isolate different times of day.
Yes.
There's another area I need to hit.
And so also Spider-Man does not drown in water.
That's good.
Yeah, no, it takes
all the good things from like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man games and the ones in the 2000s. It really and the ones from the Android Garfield Spider-Man movie games.
Dude, I gotta say, Spider-Man 2, even though it was a movie game, it was actually like, as far as gameplay, it was.
Well, it was because they had done something. Treyarch, whoever it was, had done something that had not been done before.
And I like they didn't just like throw in the towel. They're like, okay, we'll just create some, you know.
They literally developed their own brand new web slinging system algorithm where basically. And this game, you know, does that, but not to the same degree they did. In that game, every spot your webbing hit was like part of a building. In this game, they kind of flub it a little bit. For the most part, though, you're still sticking to buildings.
Yeah. Well, it's whether or not it's like, you know, 100% accurate. At least it appears. It's passable, you know. You don't feel like you're swinging from the sky.
No. And the funny thing was, when they did the Amazing Spider-Man games, which I played on PC, they were fun, but you know, this is so much better. This is a huge step up. Also, they take a lot of cues from the Arkham games as far as combat and stealth, kind of stuff.
What's up?
Hey, what's up, dude? Playing some Spider-Man. But,
with this vial of the lizard's blood, I was able to mix up a cure and turn him back into Dr. Connors. Too bad it didn't last.
Too bad, Spider-Man. I got 2. Oh yeah, that's cool. Oh, I got new suits. Let's take out my suits. Negative suit. That's cool. Alright.
Nice of you to join us, brother. Ugh. Hey.
Hung out with Nelly and Cody on Tuesday night.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, we invited him over. It was a lot of fun. Really liked Nelly. She's really fun.
Yeah, she's great.
Oh, I'm wearing the homecoming suit now. They call it the Stark suit.
Nice.
I do like that one.
Is he still in Colorado, or are they headed back already?
No, they were supposed to head back on Friday.
Oh,
They were gonna leave on Wednesday, but they decided to stay till Friday. So.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We played Jackbox games on PlayStation 4.
Well, that's the one where you do like your phone, right? You have to sync up.
Yeah.
Those are fun.
Yeah, we got like 3 of them or something on PS4, and so like Jackbox 1, 2, and 3 with all the different games on each one. We just kind of jumped around playing different ones, but it was a lot of fun. We were laughing a lot, having a good time.
Having a good time, having a good time.
Have you and Cody hung out at all since he's been married?
No.
Barrels. Definitely the source of the bacteria. I'll get
He,
rid of it.
saw him at Walmart, like right after we got back from Hawaii.
Oh, that's
Anything
right.
without barrels.
I remember you told me that.
Haven't really seen him since, because I don't know,
The downside is
different schedules. Actually, I don't even know what he's doing. He doesn't have a job right now, I don't think. Well, okay, I guess I do know what he's doing, but nothing I need to be involved.
He's doing his life.
Oh, I miss the days of being first married and having sex like all the freaking time. But as time goes on, you have kids, jobs.
all clear to spray. All clear to spray.
Kids put a damper on them, for sure. I didn't think it would, but it does. Especially like when you have a kid.
You're
Come on, fishy fishies. This is good for you.
But
This is why I never had an aquarium.
like, especially when you're
I bet someone calls this into Jameson as Spider-Man. Water polluter.
but like when your wife's
Okay. Time to find a spot to scan my finny friends and make
When you
sure
first
they
get married, you do it. That's what you're getting at.
yeah. My wife's 6 months pregnant now. And we have a 1-year-old who is kind of a pain in the ass, although she's very, very cute. She stayed up late tonight, dude. She was up till like freaking 9:30.
your baby?
Yeah. Well, because I was gonna go put her to bed around 8:30, because again she had been staying up for a while, and then Emily's brother Trapper comes over, and he wanted to see Allie. And I was just about to put her to bed, and so I brought her down. So then she ran her. He was here for almost an hour, and she was running around playing. And then I finally took her upstairs, gave her a bottle. She was out quick, so I'm hoping.
all clean. Well, by the standards of the docks. We stopped an outbreak before it started. It would be tough
So
for
hopefully
Oscorp to argue
she'll
this station isn't pulling its
sleep
weight.
through the night like she did last week.
Well, babies, man.
a picture of Lower Manhattan. There's the New World Trade Center.
Oh, that's crazy. I was gonna ask. So, how accurate is this to New York?
Pretty accurate, I'd say.
They didn't do like a 1-to-1 like they did with GTA 5. They like try to do like the almost 1-to-1 to like San Francisco or whatever.
A 1-to-1 to San Francisco?
I heard something like that. I remember.
What game?
GTA 5.
Oh, well, GTA
No,
5
it's
is it's San Andreas, which is basically just GTA's Southern California.
That's right.
Peter, I've been looking into the demons.
Although the original San Andreas game,
Power base in the vacuum left by Fisk.
it was a
State that basically covered. I mean, you could go to basically what was Los Angeles. You can go up to what was basically San Francisco, and then there was another city because there's 3 big cities in it, which was like really cool, and then a bunch of like stuff in between, and then you could go to, like basically Las Vegas there too. So it kind of covered those areas. But it's basically their Southern California area with Las Vegas. But specifically in San Andreas, it's just Southern California type thing. But it's the state of San Andreas, you know, alternate America basically. But it's also an island, so I don't know.
Did by putting Fisk away. Jameson was right. The demons are my fault.
What were you supposed to do? Let Fisk keep godfathering? Are you okay? You sound even mopier than usual.
I think I might have just lost my job. The city, Norman actually pulled our funding.
Oh, Pete. I'm sorry. If Harry were here, he could talk some sense into his dad. You'll find another source. Your work's too important.
Thanks, MJ. Talk to you soon.
Dude, I kind of want to play this. I kind of want to play The Sims.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in Times Square. I've never been to Times Square in the game.
I was last week a bit. But dude, it's just like such a goofy game. I think it's funny.
It is pretty fun.
Yeah.
Plus it kind of, I don't know. It just kind of puts me in the mood for October.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Officers respond. Officers respond. Witness report of an active drug deal. Any officers in Nomad, please respond.
Fun times. Like here's a fun time.
I will be streaming Castlevania stuff.
Thesis paper on neurotechnology.
Nice.
Got me the job with Dr. Octavius.
There's like backpack Spider-Man stored around the city where you collect, and it like has like memorabilia of his life. Kind of fills in the gaps because he's like 23 in this game, so he's been Spider-Man since he was 15.
The thing I like about the little collectibles in that game is that they actually like benefit you. Actually gain something.
Yeah,
from
yeah, it gives you points
them.
to like upgrade things and stuff. It's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, that's really cool because otherwise, if it was just like just collectibles for the sake of collecting, I don't like that. I like it when there's actually a reason or a purpose.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool.
No, I'm definitely gonna get it. I've been watching it a ton. I've been wanting to play it.
Yeah, you'd really like it because I know me, the 3 of us, we all loved like the Spider-Man games. So
Yeah.
Well, Spider-Man 2 was so much fun.
it was, and then I played a lot of the other ones after that were good. Web of Shadows was really good, but I feel like it's the most underrated of the post Spider-Man 2
Shadows
game.
was the one where you got to play as Venom, right?
No,
That was Ultimate.
that's Ultimate. I actually have that on PC.
Ultimate was so much fun.
You can get it on your PC. It's just like since there's no like available copies of it and it's not on like Steam or anything, you can get it. Like you could just download it offline and then just install it and it runs. Pretty cool.
I had to check that out. That one was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I did a stream of it back in, gosh, what was it? May? I streamed it one night. Nobody watched it though.
I kind of wish I could play the new one on PC because I hear like the frames droppage can get pretty crazy sometimes.
Oh, which ones?
On the new one, PS4.
There's frame drop issues?
Yeah, like when you're like using the electric punch ability.
Oh, I don't have that. As far as
Like
I
some
know.
of the streamers I watch are like, oh my gosh, dude, it's like dropping down to like 24 frames.
That's still not bad compared to like, this is a 30 FPS game, and for the most part, like if you watch it like there are some minor frame drops, but otherwise, like when you're swinging through the city like this, 1080p 30 FPS the whole time. Like and you're running through a bunch of stuff. Like you should watch Digital Foundry's review of like technical review on YouTube. It's like a 30-minute video where he goes into the details of it and how it looks and how it works on between PS4 Pro and
Wouldn't be New York without a seedy drug deal. Gotta be honest, not a fan of Big Pharma, especially back alley Big Pharma.
not a big fan of Big Pharma, especially especially back alley Big Pharma. Oh, okay. So you know how like in the E3 trailer from like what 2016 or the demo from last year that they did?
Yeah, for E3.
And which I haven't done that mission yet, by the way. But like how it showed like, you know, Spider-Man, like he would knock a guy off a ledge and then all of a sudden they would like he would shoot some webs or something to keep them safe from falling off the building.
Yeah.
Well, and so when I was playing it, I was just like, oh, these brutes are a little strong sometimes. But yeah, so these people they do so like when I was playing it and I would start knocking guys off the edge, I'm just like, well, I guess they took out that thing. Maybe it was too hard to animate or whatever. But then I went and followed the guy off the edge to see where he was going, but then all of a sudden he has like some web thing on him that shoots towards the nearest wall and then sticks him to the wall to keep him from dying.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out because I remember that from the trailer, and then the gameplay I've been watching the last couple of days. It's like I've seen a lot of the people I've been watching play are throwing people off the building, and I haven't noticed if they've been caught or
Yeah,
not.
you have to. I'll see like if I get into another fight with people. If you're watching the stream, anyway. But I'll try and show.
I can never give this prototype spider tracer enough range to be useful. But I did adapt the tech into my web traps, which really come in handy.
Even though it makes more sense, you know, that he wouldn't be killing people, it's very fun in Spider-Man 2 to pile drive people off the Empire State Building.
Yeah. Oh man, I love that.
I know, dude. Like, I would grab a guy by I'd just grab a guy by his shirt and then go all the way to the top of the Empire State Building and then just chuck him off or pile drive him. That was one of my favorites, was to pile drive him.
Oh, I know. Me too.
And the body would go bouncing. The body would go flying.
Attention units, we have reports of muggings in the
It
area.
would bounce like a
Officers
bouncy
needed
ball.
in Gramercy. Please copy.
Good times.
You know, back when Spider-Man was a killer.
Well, he did kill Norman Osborn,
That's right.
according to Harry.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, Norman's
sick,
the
man.
mayor in this game.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, he is.
Muggers never take a day off.
Because again, this is Spider-Man. He's been he's in his 20s. He's graduated college and done his I don't know if he's done his like if he has a PhD or a master's or anything. But yeah, it's kind of like the Arkham take on it, where Batman's been doing it for a long time.
Okay.
And I'm guessing they're gonna do a like this has gotten really good reviews. It's getting like 8, 9s, and 10s. Mostly 8, 9s across the
Yeah.
board.
I would be surprised.
And it's selling well.
Always nice to stop a mugger. Gotta stay strong in the fundamentals.
Yeah, all the big streamers I watch on Twitch been playing it.
It's so fun. Like at first, because I'm used to like playing like the combat. It's like it's very similar to the Arkham style of combat, which I like. It's a little bit different. Like your dodge move, you don't have a counter move. You can counter. You can unlock countering. But like Batman, but Spider-Man fights differently than Batman does. So your main thing is to dodge, and so
Officers respond. We've got 10 narcotic
square is your main attack.
Officers needed in Gramercy. Please copy.
Triangle is web attack, and circle is dodge. And so you have to use, especially in big groups of guys who have guns, dodging is the only thing that'll save you. Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, it's just fun to like do all these missions. One of the hardest problems improving air quality is identifying the source of high toxic. Yeah, okay.
Fisk. I know Fisk.
Hey, pal. This station tests particulate matter in the air. Now, you probably have some science jargony way to say this, but basically, too much is not good.
And I hope we get a sequel sooner than later.
Inconsistent. The only way I'll figure out what's going on is to test nearby emissions. But I've got other problems. The sampler's detecting toxic particles.
I mean, we don't want to rush the game, though. I mean,
Well, I mean, I feel like the game,
That steam vent's a good place to start.
for the most part, is kind of perfect as it is, control-wise
Right.
and everything like that.
There's something in here that doesn't belong. Let's analyze it.
use the same engine.
This
Yeah.
whole, you know, get revived by your teammates system is really good in this game. Battlefield 5, you know, before you know it, when you get knocked down, instead of your teammates reviving you, they just start teabagging you.
That's funny.
Yeah, I had 2 guys just run up and just start teabagging me on my team instead
Say
of
another
reviving
real
me.
friend.
Yeah, sure.
Mercury. Bonded with something else. I can't tell what. This obviously isn't confined to one building. A lot of people are at risk.
And the cool thing in this game is the tech Spider-Man uses in his suit, he developed himself because he's a freaking genius. Which
That's cool.
obviously in the current, like, they haven't really shown that too much. They showed it a bit in Amazing Spider-Man. They didn't show it in the Sam Raimi movies. And so far in Homecoming and all that stuff, you know he's smart, but he's in high school. So the suit he has right now, that's all high tech, is
Tony Stark.
is from Tony Stark. But I think as his stuff goes along with his character in the
See what a
movies,
sample from this can tell me.
I hope that they kind of like take it less from Stark, and like as he gets to college level and stuff like that, that he gets.
Do you get the costume from Infinity Wars?
Yes, I was playing with it earlier today.
Hey, I know about this process.
Oh, what I'm doing?
Yeah,
It's
I had a
chemistry.
dude in my class.
It's like
We did.
chemistry stuff.
Yeah. We burn
Nitric acid in there too.
different substances,
Also something
or
else.
use like those neon lights.
I'm on the
And
right
then what we'd
track.
have to do is
Just
have
need keep
to
following the trail. This is more widespread than I thought. The whole
put it
neighborhood's in danger
through.
from this.
You have to take it and like look at it through spectrometer, and from there extrapolate which one is or what element was in there to make the light. It was like hydrogen or neon or mercury. Concept was fun, but the lab itself was not set up well at all, and it was very frustrating. So,
Phew.
yeah.
That stinks to high heaven. Time to find out what's in it.
I lit that guy up.
How you like in Battlefield 2? Or Battlefield
fun.
5?
I'm getting better at it for sure. Like it was rough
I had that
last
one
night,
match
but-
where I felt like I did pretty good, and then that other match, not so much. But then
It's definitely taking some practice, but I'm getting more comfortable with it.
it's good.
It's just so different from Rainbow Six, and that's all I've been playing lately. So
Yeah, no, I was like pressing buttons that I would do on there, and then I was like trying to do like leans and stuff like that.
manually.
Ethanol.
Like by pressing a button to lean, but like that.
That's
No, that's not even an option. You have only one
Nitrogen and ethanol.
is
Gotta get back on the trail.
to go up against a corner or whatever, and I still can't get that figured out.
well, like the leaning is if you're by a corner and you're looking down your sights.
Right, it'll automatically
it'll
do
automatically
it ADS.
Which,
Yeah.
but I like the extra
annoying.
control. I wonder if there's an option to change that.
Yeah, because I like not yet. I don't think because I looked, I didn't see anything. But I'd like to be able to just be able to do auto, auto tilt on my own. Oh, dang it!
Rhino almost killed me until I broke this chip off his horn and figured out what his costume's made of. Still wasn't easy to beat him. My back still aches just thinking about it.
We'll do a story mission here in a little bit. I'm just dicking around right now, doing side stuff. Because I really like the side stuff. The side stuff is good.
It's not just thinking around.
Oh yeah, bulletproof.
Yeah, from what I've seen, the side missions are fun too.
Yeah, some people said like, oh, they're repetitive when you have to save people all the time. Just like, whatever, it's
Like
fun.
that's what
part
all
of
the
the fun.
missions are.
Like they watered that. Like they brought it up. They've made it better than it has been in the game since Spider-Man 2. And Spider-Man 2 was freaking repetitive. Like when you would get a road raging guy, and then you would jump on his car and beat the shit out of the car until it was broken. It's like, oh, you broke my car. And he's just like, well, maybe you should think about it next time before you decide to flip out.
Yeah, you just begin deciding you're gonna wail on some dude's car because he's speeding and driving erratically.
Yeah,
The guy like loses his job because he can't get to work now.
It's a cool suit. I'm hoping I get to unlock the Venom costume before too long.
I do like this black and yellow one. What's that
Yeah,
from?
it's called, it is the Spider Armor Mark II suit. I'm guessing it's one that, was made by Tony Stark, but I don't know.
Right.
Although this suit looks really cool. The, Secret War suit.
These Secret Wars. Spider-Man.
Has a nice butt, Spider-Man.
Wow.
Wow. There's like things that you can find different cool landmarks like that are real in New York City and take pictures of them to unlock stuff too.
That's cool.
Yeah,
You
it's
get more
just
costumes,
so
right?
well done.
I
Like,
saw your selfie. That was pretty funny.
yeah, because I saw it. That's one of the landmarks you can look at. Oh, I'm on the Chrysler Building.
What can you look at?
Like one of the landmarks you can look at is the Wakanda embassy in New York.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so I took a selfie picture with it with Spider-Man, and he was like, you know, and then my post I said, better still, a better movie than Black Panther.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
It's just so generic. So there's this guy that I've been actually watching and subscribed to him. It's called the Cosmonaut Variety Hour, and he reviews movies, and a lot of them is comic book movies because he's a big comic book fan. And so he was talking about his issues with with Black Panther, and his issues with Black Panther are it's boring, it's generic, and all that stuff. Like it's boring, it's generic, it's it's overhyped basically. Although he did like
Killmonger's ending monologue before he died,
where he's just like, I'd rather be buried. He's like, put me in the ocean next to my. Oh, dude, these gargoyles are what freaking inspired a lot of that architecture in Gotham in the Batman stuff.
Huh. I can see it.
You'll see it in a minute.
Because YouTube's a few minutes behind.
Doesn't like Spider-Man have like a gargoyle he frequently chooses to monologue on? He calls it Bruce.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, I remember that. Here's a question that they don't really properly answer. Do Marvel Comics exist in the DC universe, and do DC Comics exist in the Marvel universe?
Crazy, bro. Crazy.
I mean, it'd be kind of weird because they cross over with them now and then. Was it? I think it was maybe just over a year ago, I think, but Superman did a crossover with Miles Morales.
Oh, did he?
Uh-huh.
That's cool.
And they also had Justice League Power Ranger crossover.
Oh, I thought that was cool. That looked cool.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, you should
The Ninja Turtle
yeah,
Batman crossover is cool.
He does a because the thing I like about this guy is that he
Loves comics, he reads comics, and so when he does
reviews of comic book movies, he's very, very blunt and honest about it. So I really like it. Check him out. Hold on, let me get you
a link to the one he did basically about Justice League. Cosmo, not Variety Hour. DC. I listened to this I watched this last night, and he's pretty freaking dead on with all of his stuff with it. I'll post it in Discord chat. And so he just goes over what he's like, what's wrong with the DC comics. DC movies. He's like, I love the DC comics. And he's like, one of the things he says is, I can tell when a director doesn't know his shit about comics, is what he says. And so, like, people were like, oh, the Dark Knight trilogy's so good, and it's like, yes, it is, but he's like, I guarantee you, the only comics that Christopher Nolan read were the Dark Knight Returns, The Killing Joke, The Long Halloween, and Batman Year One, which is when he says when you look at like the top best 5 Batman stories to read, those are like always in the top of any list. They're always like within the top 10. and so he adapted those. You know, he made it. That's where he got his lot of inspiration from. He says they're not bad movies by any means, but I can tell those are probably the only Batman comics he read in preparation for that stuff. And then nothing against Christopher Nolan by any means. And then he said with Zack Snyder, when doing Batman vs Superman, he was like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure the only movie he watched, the only Batman comic he read was The Dark Knight Returns, and he doesn't even understand it, and he completely misses the point of that book." and he's like, Batman's supposed to be a hero, and in this he's not even he's just kind of a, he's not even just like, he's more of an, he's not even like an anti-hero, he's just evil. Is what he said. And then he would like show shots of like the part where Batman starts shooting people, and it's just, and then it has subtext in there that he posted, just like, Batman should never ever do this. Yeah, it's pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
But that's like his main point.
It's true.
It's like, I mean, I like Batman vs Superman, but the reason why, like, people like in movies and particularly Superman, and he talked about Superman. He's like, Superman is so freaking cool. If you read the comics, Superman is so freaking cool. But the way he's portrayed in movies is he's like a god amongst men, and that he looks down on everyone else on the planet because he's superior to
Not
them.
Man of Steel, though, right?
What?
Or does he include Man of Steel, Superman in that?
Yes, he does. Particularly, I like Man of Steel, but you know, he had issues with, like, you know, freaking Metropolis getting destroyed, like a lot of people did. He's like, what would have been good for that fight is if he, he said, what would have been good for that fight is if where they want me to go. It's like, would be to have Superman saving people, and like the whole like explosion at the Capitol and stuff like that. In the theatrical version, it shows Superman just leaving instead of helping people. Of course, in the scene that cut out, like they show in the Ultimate version, is him is bringing people out of the thing, and you know, and helping people and stuff like that. That's something they should have left in the theatrical cut. So yeah, he makes like points like that. He's like Superman. People think Superman's boring, that's because the public perception of Superman comes from the movies, and right now he hasn't been done any justice in recent years. And he's like, yeah, and you can, you know, I try not to. He's like, I won't judge the Christopher Reeve movies too harshly because they are, you know, they come from a different time. But he's like, in mostly every Superman movie, the one thing he only cares about is saving Lois, and not
I think I think I found the problem.
and not
Caustic chemicals
more than
leaking out of
anything
those barrels
besides
into the
saving
plumbing. Need to clean up the site
they
fast.
treat him more like
The calcium and
He doesn't
Clark-
prioritize.
yeah, like Clark Kent is his actual mask,
To make a mess to fix
but
this mess.
Superman is his. Like, he's always Superman, but Clark Kent's his mask. And it's like, no, Clark Kent is who he is. He grew up in Kansas. He was raised by humans.
One down. Nice, it's working. Breathing this stuff in. Not good.
Yeah, that's.
That was kind of the points he made. He's like Superman's really cool. And he's like, one thing I would really like to see adapted is he's like one thing I would really like to see adapted is
That's it. Sealing the grate with webbing should stop any residual drainage.
sorry, I'm focusing on the game too. But he says any comic he said he would love to see adapted in the film would be Superman Superman
That could have been way worse.
All-Star Superman. He says like people think people think that Superman is super like I don't know, I guess superficial and looks down on the world.
Yeah, I think a lot of people miss that Superman's strength comes from his humanity, not
Exactly.
from his
And Zack Snyder said, I want to show that, you know, his weakness isn't kryptonite in this, but his weakness is his humanity. Well, his humanity is more or less directed towards Lois Lane in this movie. But yeah, so it's just kind of like, yeah, they need to show Superman. Like, okay, one thing I really like about the Superman animated movies they make is, you know, they're very true to the character of Superman and Batman and all of them, because they have guys who know the source material. Yeah, people that know the source material, and so they tell these stories based off of stuff. But like in Superman Doom's, in the Death of Superman arc that they did in a movie that they released recently, which you guys should watch. I have it on my Plex. They show him that, like, when he's fighting Doomsday and causing all this destruction, you see Superman like going out of his way to save civilians, to keep them from getting killed and stuff like that. And there's at one point in it where it's actually touching part in it, where this kid who idolizes Superman, he and his mom are on a bridge that's getting like destroyed by, you know, people are getting in harm's way from Doomsday. He's throwing crap at Superman. He throws like big old thing, and the kid's video game thing got lost, and Superman found it, and the kid ran towards him, but he was the thing was about to fall on him. Well, Superman, you know, blocks it, saves him from it, and then gives him his you know, handheld gaming device back, and then he gives Superman a big hug. and then he runs back to his mom. And I'm just like, we need to see more of that in the movies. Show Superman saving people, you know. Henry Cavill's a great Superman. And then when he talks about Spider-Man Homecoming, he's like I said, I can tell when people know the source materials. Like, these people know the source material of Spider-Man. They didn't base the story off of any comic book, but they know the source material so well that they were able to make their own story, and it worked. And I'm just like, yeah, that's accurate, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Officers respond. We have a kidnapping in progress. Reported location is Murray Hill.
Oh yeah. It's
I gotta go save somebody real quick before I do this mission.
Kidnapping in progress.
Yep.
What was I gonna say? What do you call it? And the one I'd like to see at least incorporated. I don't know, you couldn't really make a whole story arc off of it. What I'd like to see incorporated is Superman for All Seasons. It's like, it has a, how do you say it? It has like different phases. Like the first, I think, is spring. And that's told through the perspective of Lana Lang. Kind of her relationship with Clark Kent and all that. And then the next part is like when he's an adult and he's living in Metropolis, and that's through Lois. No, let me take it back. Well, I know Lois tells while he's living in Metropolis. I feel like,
The car wasn't even moving, Spider-Man.
Either way, but it's told through like the perspective of different people who know, Superman or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just very kind of like this endearing story. You kind of like see him in a different light. And there's like, this isn't in like the official one, but it's written by what's his name? He produces all the Marvel shows. He's also a writer for like he did Long Halloween and
yeah, Long Halloween. He's in charge of all the Marvel shows.
Yeah, he's the producer. Jeff Loeb, there you go. Anyway, when Jeff Loeb was writing Superman for All Seasons, his son had cancer, and his son actually died. And so, like, there's a single issue he did where it's, what do you call it? There's a single issue where it's like, it's kind of following, a relationship Superman has, and he's like friends with, this kid who's, supposed to be like Jeff Loeb's son, and he's like his friend, and he visits him, and eventually he passes on, and he like wrote some like note to Superman, and it's like, I don't remember who's narrating that part. I think it must be Lois or something, but basically they just kind of like explain how, how that like influenced him as a person and stuff. But I don't know, we need to see more of that, like just that endearing side of Superman where it's like, he's
Well, I think a good movie that they could do is they could adapt Superman vs. the Elite. They already made an animated movie about it, but I think taking that concept where you have this superhero team who just kind of does things by their own rules.
And they're British.
And they're well, one of them's British.
Yeah.
But
Manchester Black.
Manchester Black and all that, and being like, you know,
Oh, come on.
you know, hey, sorry, but like show Superman's uncompromising, his uncompromising will, and values. Show that.
Hey, I'm no lawyer, but pretty sure that's a parole violation.
Yeah, I agree though.
Guess we're stuck in here for a while. Want to play 20 questions? No? How about we thumb less? Okay, face punch it is. Your gauntlets are all digital now, aren't they?
Have it your way. You wanna fight? Let's fight!
Man, can't wait to put you back behind bars so we can talk science.
Remember our first fight?
Me, so young and stupid. You just stupid. Well, that's a matter of opinion. I mean, are there any standard metrics for how much talking one should do? And who determines? Okay, now I can do some real damage. Why are you doing this, Herman?
If I don't, they'll kill me!
If you ask nicely, maybe. Coming your way. You come clean. I can help you.
You really want to help me? Let me have a fight!
I got the whole playthrough itself.
Not gonna happen.
You missed me.
First fight. Me, so young and stupid. Well, that's a matter of opinion. I mean, are there any standard metrics for how much talking one should do? And who determines the ideal ratio of talking versus not talking? Also, how would you measure it? Words per minute, syllables per second? Or is it more about how many words one uses to express a single thought? It's also subjective.
Do they have any other superheroes in this game?
There's some references so far, but I haven't seen anybody like cameos from other Marvel heroes.
Right. Remember, I think it was Ultimate. They had like Human Torch.
What?
Wasn't it in like Ultimate where they had Human Torch?
I think that was.
Or that's Spider-Man 2.
I think that was Spider-Man 2.
Okay. So remember, there's one where you have to like follow him because he's going somewhere.
No, that was Ultimate. I just recently played
That was
some of
Ultimate.
that, so yeah, no, it's
Yeah, I remember now. Yeah.
I mean, are there any standard metrics for how much talking one should do? And who determines the ideal ratio of talking versus not talking? Also, how would you measure it? Words per minute, syllables per second? Or is it more about how many words one uses to express a single thought? It's also subjective. If you ask me.
Of course.
I'm getting my ass handed to me.
First fight. Me, so young and stupid. You just stupid. Well, that's a matter of opinion. I mean, are there any standard metrics for how much talking one should do? And who determines the ideal ratio of talking versus not talking? Also, okay, now I can do some real damage. Why are you doing this, Herman?
Because if I don't kill me!
Catch! You come clean! I can help you!
We have the money!
Sorry, not gonna happen. No, people don't use banks anymore. You're lucky you found actual cash. Do you really want to rob banks? Try day trading.
Did you do something
All the
wrong?
rage. Oh, come on, Herman! You tell me who you're working for. I can help you cut a deal.
My cause is undead! They made that very clear!
This one's gonna hurt.
This is the toughest boss fight I've had, man. I've only had one other boss fight with Kingpin.
Difficulty levels in that game.
Yep, there's easy, normal, and they call them like I think I can go to game. So standard difficulty is amazing, friendly is easy, and spectacular is hard. Maybe I'll just drop it down to...
What are you playing?
I'm playing amazing.
I'll probably play it on the hardest.
Oh really?
Just to make the game last. Yeah, I just feel like the game will last.
You're freaking me out, Herman. It's not
Gotta
like
have some sort of suit power that would be good here. Switch to that.
to be afraid of people. To be afraid of people.
You're not even sure these guys are people! Could be anything under those masks!
Wait, did you say mask? These mask guys. What do they want the money for?
Oh, he killed me again.
Tell me who you're working for. I can help you cut a deal.
My cause is undead! They made that very clear! That's very clear.
On yourself. Literally.
That was cool.
Take it you beat him.
Yeah, you watch it on YouTube?
Oh, there's a delay.
I'm scared. I'm desperate. These demons are everywhere.
Now you bring down the chandelier. There we go. Or the whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay, Yuri. Shocker's all yours now.
Good work. We have a special cell waiting for him at the raft. We'll make sure he stays behind bars this time.
Also, I'm pretty sure he was working for the Demon Gang.
Demon Gang? Sounds like a Daily Bugle headline.
Hey, the Bugle is a perfectly fine news organization.
Not sure I'd call it news.
Well, I've heard they have some really good reporters. Anyway, have you had any more reports on demons, guys with masks?
Let me get back to you. By the way, how much of a mess did you make inside that bank?
You probably don't want to know.
Shouldn't have asked.
The fight with Shocker took a while. To catch up on what I've been missing out in the city.
So this station monitors water pressure down to the individual building. Structures above 4 stories use water towers to augment the city's system. The idea is to identify problems before they spread, you know?
Whoa. Pressure in this building's all over the map. I need to find out why. The water towers connect to the city's system at the 4-story mark. I'll scan the pipes, try to see where this starts.
So Emily got her first paycheck.
Pipes are fine up here. Pipes are fine up here. Whatever's causing this,
Yesterday.
it's lower.
It is only $15.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was for like, I don't know if they counted some of her, if they got marked down for marked some of the hours for like her orientation and stuff or not.
Did she start on like a weekend maybe?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe it was like she covered a shift and then it was kind of the end of that pay cycle.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking, but I don't have a copy of her.
Spider crisis coming
Her,
Cause how many hours is she working there?
oh, she's been covering a lot for people. She's been getting close to like 20 hours a week in some instances, 15 to 20 hours a week.
Right.
Because she'll cover.
Or
for
it could
people.
be like, or maybe did she have like an orientation before she started?
She did.
That could be what it is. Like, she
But I
could have been paid for the
she's been
orientation.
doing it. She's been doing stuff for them for nearly a month. I just don't. I'm wondering.
That shouldn't have happened. I better seal these fast before Jameson pins it on me.
But I'm wondering if like I talked to Chris about this last night. About W-2s because I changed my W-2 recently so I could bring more money home on my paycheck, and
Even better than duct tape.
and it you know, so I'm bringing home a little more money, so I'm hoping that's not affecting what she's able to bring home from. Apparently Chris, you there?
On her paycheck, it should say what hours. She was
Yeah,
paid for.
it's just like, so you'd have to look at her pay stub, which
I don't think it has anything to do with her tax deductions because she's the one that decides what she deducts.
right, and so she put since I'm claiming her and Allie as dependents.
Just call me the amazing spider plumber.
Since I'm claiming her as her and Allie as dependents, she was just told to put 0 on her form.
All fixed.
On her W-4, which is what she was told to do. So I don't know. I just want a copy of her paycheck or pay stub so I can take a look at it. But like she doesn't know the login for her thing. And I think also like because she was just like writing down her hours at first, like maybe they didn't get those. I don't know.
Yeah.
Which would suck.
Oh, it's funny though. I feel like with most places, if they saw something like that, they'd be like, "Hold up, I need to talk to them, see what's going on."
Nailed it.
Well, that's what I keep telling her, but she's so freaking timid about it. So I'm just like, you need to talk to your bosses about it.
Got it. Last one.
So I'm just like, we just had to pay $400 for our
Unless the
car,
drainage is blocked. I'll check
her
the
car
outlet
to be
pipe.
repaired,
The outlet pipe's down by the water.
and
I'll go see if
then
anything's blocking it.
had something to do with the power steering part.
Oh, replacing the fluid? Or
Well,
just...
there's actually a part that went bad. I don't remember what it was called. But I mean, the guy that does it, he's an older guy, and he like services like a lot of people in this area, and he's a real honest guy, you know. He's like very trusted. Like Emily's dad goes to him all the time, so he's real, you know, real good guy.
Now I ask, how many other heroes fight crime and fix your shower? No, our corp can't deny
What else
Harry's
did you have to
station
pay
stopped
for?
the public utility meltdown.
What?
What else did you have to pay for? You were saying the car and
And then, you know, there's just some bills that I had on my credit card that I needed to pay. Like from like my cell phone bill and stuff like that, because I didn't have any money to pay for. I mean, I had the money, but I also had a mortgage payment come out this week and stuff like that. But I was like, oh yeah, this paycheck, I'll you know, finish paying off what's on my credit card, which I did.
Thanks, Yuri. I'll check
Now
it
it's
out.
like, oh, now I gotta pay tithing tomorrow. Just like, the hell?
Just make it the first thing you do, and then you won't even think about it.
I know. I'll probably do it tonight before I even go
Hey,
to
Yuri.
church.
Any idea what Fisk uses that shipyard for?
No idea. No idea.
It's just like I don't know. Like I prayed and fasted a lot
That's his beat.
about you know finding a way to help us financially, and I've been paying paying tithing, been consistent about it every paycheck. And then, you know, Emily got this job. I'm just like, I'm hoping they're not like taking too much out or something, because I'm you know, right now I'm claiming 4 dependencies.
I think you'll be fine, dude.
4 or 5
Honestly, I think it's just the first paycheck. I wouldn't worry too much.
Yeah.
Now, if the second paycheck comes through and its numbers seem really off, then yeah, I want to definitely have to talk to somebody, but I think it's just a one-off.
The indomitable
First
Otto
paycheck.
Octavius.
First paychecks usually aren't ever all that big. You usually start working in the middle of the pay period, so. Oh, my headphone.
Are they Bluetooth? Yeah, I would love like if Insomniac could somehow like port this to PC or something.
Why do the demons need that much cash?
But it's a PS4 exclusive, so. Which is fine. Again, it's fine. It's fine. It's great. It runs great. But I just want to see how it runs.
Okay, I can hear you. Allison and I, my car was making a weird noise on Wednesday night. Turns out it was just something in the wheel well that like a flap or something that got loose and was just like hitting the tire.
Oh, okay.
But we knew that we had to get the power steering fluid replaced. They told me last month I got my oil change, so like your power steering fluid needs to be replaced. So I was like, okay, well, let's go ahead and let's do that. But then they were like, oh, and your coolant needs to be replaced. Oh, and your brake fluid needs to be replaced. So to do all that, it was $350.
Hold tight, officers. The web swing
So
is
I was thinking yesterday to my car, but yeah, it was $350. It was like, yikes. Not expecting to pay that much. I didn't realize all that needed to be done. But the guys at Midas and Aurora didn't say that I needed to get my other fluids changed. They just said,
dude, why do you keep going back to them? It sounds like you're just like screwing things up over and over.
double kill.
Oh, dude, what's so funny? Okay, so guys will like shoot you and stuff like that in this game. Well, like sometimes I'll be fighting the guy, some guy who's trying to, and there's a guy, you know, a ways away shooting at me. What I'll do is I'll I'll be fighting him, and then Spider-Man will like flip around him and get behind him, and then the guy will get shot a bunch.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just like, oh. It's like, Spider-Man, you're,
Demons are down. I'll let you take it from here, officers. Stay safe out there, officer. Stay safe out there, officer. There's no.
Let's go look at my skills.
Double kill. All the way across the sky. So intense.
I gotta go take a dookie, guys.
Good to know.
I'll be back.
Oh, I choked! That sucks! Sniper owned me and I had a machine gun.
Oh, Daily Bugle.
Revive me, hey you! Or not. The new revive system is so dumb.
The Daily Bugle. Always a great paper. Even more now that Jameson's retired.
I dislike it.
You dislike it?
Yeah, I just...
I don't
I feel
mind
like
it.
the only people that can heal you are on your squad.
No, anybody can heal you.
You okay?
The anybody can heal you. Or revive you. Now, if you have a medic heal you, they can heal you way faster.
All units, we have a vehicle collision. Officer assistance needed on scene. Any officers near Halifax, please copy.
So, Dr. Octopus isn't Dr. Octopus yet in this game.
Yeah, he does it. He becomes it later.
Yeah, it's like so you're like buddies with him, and he's your boss, developing like the arms and stuff like that.
And then he like it's like I think it's the beginning of the game. He finds out you're Spider-Man, right?
What happens? Well, like from my understanding of
You're
that
like
scene,
fixing your suit.
I'm fixing the suit, and he's just like, oh, I see. He's like,
Hey, so this gang war between the demons and Fisk is really heating up.
he's like,
I know. Even Shocker's a part of it. Got roped into running jobs for the demons.
alias
They're
investigations.
serious. Do they just want to replace Fisk?
That'd be bad enough.
I found Jessica Jones' place. Alias investigations.
Nice.
But anyway, yeah, he's like your boss and stuff like that. He think you like Spider-Man's like, oh yeah. He's like, yeah, I am, and he's like, I mean, who else? Like, it makes sense now. You know, you're brilliant. Obviously, he would need somebody to build his tech and stuff for his suits and everything like that.
Oh, so he thinks that
You're just helping him with his technology and stuff. So.
Got it, boss. Tripling security. Demons won't touch a thing.
Listen up.
Of course, there's some
Listen up.
enemy.
Demons are making moves on all our caches. Lost 2 tonight already. Boss may be in lockup. That don't mean his hardware's up for grabs.
Oh, I know. They'll fix them.
What caches are the demons after?
But like a dude dies and his center mass gets stuck in the air. And
Oh
then
yeah,
there's
dude.
this
I was watching that. That was happening all last night.
We need to deal with them first. A lot of junk scattered around here. A well-placed web shot could make a great distraction. That sniper has guard watching him. We need to divide and conquer.
That tank is still there.
Yep, dude's getting shot up.
We got flanked. Squad.
No, we can't have vigilantes trespassing or doing illegal searches.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know.
Which is why I brought a warrant. So what do you say we do some perfectly legal search?
Critical death.
I like the sound of that. What's your name?
Officer Davis. Officer Davis.
Call me Jeff.
Call me Jeff. You are?
Just messing with you.
Just messing with you.
Son's a big fan.
My son's a big fan.
So, that more cover breaking down doors?
Not without a lot of extra paperwork.
Okay.
Okay.
Find another way.
I'll find another way.
Any place this rundown.
Any place this rundown should have a hole in the wall or a broken window.
Check around back. I'd go myself, but you know, not Spider-Man.
Like after this mission on this stream.
I feel like I'm in a horror movie.
Hello?
Hello? Fisherman with a grudge and a hook for a hand?
Okay, where's that locked
Okay,
door?
where's that locked door?
Jeff, you there?
Jeff, you there? I'm doing my best to refrain from knock-knock jokes.
Appreciate it. Junction box powering the door.
That's not gonna come
Yeah, got it.
You do that, so. Good.
Smart, but I don't have anything that packs enough current.
Try this.
Stun gun, genius. Capacitors in this are just what I need for an upgrade I've been thinking of.
Sometimes I just like, I'll cover myself. Maybe like my torso. Let's see, like all my limbs out. The prime is though, most of my body covered except from one leg, 1 foot. So yeah, I can let off heat, but I'm also fairly warm.
So is it cold there in Rexburg yet, Walk?
web for the win.
Gadget man.
It's not too cold yet. It's just been.
Started taking apart the TV.
It was raining last weekend, but it's been probably like 70s and 80s this week.
Yeah, that's how we were, but we were humid. And then today it's like in the 60s, or high, it was low 70s. Tonight it's like gonna get in the 50s, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then tomorrow's gonna be a high of like 62. And then it's gonna be 85 all week. And then it'll be cold again next week. But we're getting out of summer. I'm so happy.
I know, it's weird, it's already September.
Now he's unlocking his friend's phones.
Sounds like he could teach me.
Sounds like he could teach me a few
Halloween's
things.
next month.
Okay.
Okay.
Nothing illegal in plain sight.
Nothing illegal in plain sight.
Kinda anticlimactic.
Kinda anticlimactic, huh?
First glance.
At first glance.
Let's look closer.
Let's look closer.
Looking for something specific?
Looking for something specific?
This yard's been here a long time.
This yard's been here a long time. Bootleggers
used to use it back in the day.
Bootleggers used to use it back in the day.
So. Oh, Allie's crying. Okay, I'm at the end of the stream there. I'll be back in a minute, guys. Thanks for watching those did. This is Stefan for Snake Chaser Games playing Spider-Man. Subscribe for more, and when all else fails, remember to snake it.